Okay friends, so what I'm going to show you is how to make a 3x3 triangle using what you have in house. So I have this risotto box or rice box. I'm going to cut out a large square shape. Okay, now first I'm going to measure out 3 inches. We want to make sure they're straight. So 3 inches across the bottom. Okay? Alright, so I got to cut a little bit off the edge. So I'm just going to trim it really, really carefully. Now I'm using a tape measure. If you've got a ruler, use a ruler. A ruler will be much easier. Okay, so that's pretty close now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that on the table and line it up and use my pencil to mark where the 3-inch line is. So I'm going to hold it like this. Okay, so I don't need to cut a whole lot off. So just a little bit. Okay. All right, now, the next thing you need to do is you need to measure 3 inches tall, so where you got a square. Okay. So the reason you're making a square is so that you can cut your, oops. Now if you're using tape measure like me, you can see it is not the best tool for the job because I keep knocking it over. Okay. All right. So cut across. So I made a mark on this side of my paper and a mark on this side of the paper. I lined my scissors up and I cut across. So now I have a perfect square to work with. Now, to figure out how high up to draw, go to the opposite side of your square. Now, a 3x3 triangle will be divided in half at 1.5 inches. So right at 1.5 inches where you want to make your dot, as close to as accurate as possible. Okay, then you take your ruler. It works better with a ruler. I'm just going to use this piece we cut off as a straight edge. Oh, no, that's not long enough. I'm going to use the rest of the box instead. I'm going to go from there to there. Okay, corner to the dot I drew. Same thing here, go from corner to the dot I drew. Okay. All right. Now to check to see if you did it correctly, it should be 3 inches. It's taller than 3 inches. You want to know why? Because my paper is bigger than 3 inches. So we got to do it again. Okay. Okay. So that puts the 1.5 mark in a slightly different spot. But right there, it looks like it's right here. And I know you're thinking, well, why does it matter? Well, it matters because if it's not lined up correctly, then this project doesn't work. That's still wrong. So let's see, if we measure 3 inches. Oh, okay, I see what I'm doing wrong. It's not gonna work this way. So let's see, how far tall is it too tall by? Okay, not by much. So I think if we take off that much, that should make the difference. So I'm going to take off about 1/4 of an inch. So the best way really to do this is not the way that I'm doing it. Clearly, because I've done this incorrectly. So good for you guys, you get to watch me figure this out. Okay. Like I said, a ruler in this, it's much easier when you have a ruler as opposed to this tape measure situation that I've got going on, because you can hold on, I can hold on things a lot easier. A lot straighter when I'm doing that. Okay, so 1.5 is right here. So I know that 1.5 is right there, so if I line it up. Okay, this is why a ruler is very important at this point. All right, so 1.5, 2, let me get 3 inches to that, right? Yeah. It's right here. Okay. So that's why that should have worked earlier, because this is the right length. Okay. All right, now we've got it figured out. So now you see why, through trial and error, why we can't do a 3x3 square. It does help that I had this. So you divide your triangle in half when you get your 3 inches cut. Divide your triangle in half and go up to the other side of the paper. Then measure 3 inches from the corner to this line, and you're going to have an equilateral triangle after that. And don't worry about making mistakes. It's okay. And if you got to start over and try again, start over and try again. Okay, so that is definitely what we're looking for. Now I'm going to erase that line down the middle. Okay, so now you have your equilateral triangle. You may continue on to the next steps.